Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Welcome to this half unboxing, half unwrapping video. This is the final orchid I came home with from my trip to Burnhams on Saturday, and as stated, it's a big one. Most strictly speaking, it's not the plant that's big, it's just overall size is big. Anyway, I'm sure some people have had a go at guessing what it is. I'm sure some people may even get it right. But either way, I didn't say what it was, and I only gave a couple of very vague hints. So we can have a few more as we start taking the wrapping off. I said I wasn't going to get any more of these, and that's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? Right, let's start. It's going to take a while because basically each spike had to be wrapped separately, so I'm going to have to unwrap those separately and very carefully, or we'll end up with a load of blooms on the floor. As soon as I start unwrapping the blooms, you'll see what we're up to here. They were all very carefully wrapped. Now this spike is the one that has got some unopened blooms. It's also got some buds that are blasting, but nonetheless there are plenty more open blooms to look at. And as I said, I've got to be careful with this. You must be getting there by now. There may be some still dubious. As I say, I've got to take this off very carefully because it's actually surrounding the spikes. So if I pull it too much, I'm going to tug on the spikes. Sarah did apologise, but there's ants on this. Now, as I come across them as I'm unwrapping them, I'm going to deck them on the grounds that if they get in the grow room, they could start taking hold. And there are quite a few of them. I can see them, I've already killed 4 or 5 on just one spike here. Hopefully that's where they're concentrated on, for obvious reasons. The happy sap on the spikes is what they're after, sugary sap. Well, there's not much else in the food stakes around. Right, we might be able to pick it up soon. It's got no name, it is just a hybrid. I think they're there now. What's this one here? Delicate operation. I'm just going to have another scan round before I lift the plant out, see if I can see any more ants. Before I lift it out. I can't actually see anymore. I think there was just a cluster on that one spike. I certainly don't see any more because I'm attracted, my eyes are attracted to movement, so as soon as they move I'd see them. Right, now you can see why I said it's going to take up space. And it's got a hanger. That's why it's got a hanger. It's a pendulous cymbidium. And we've got a spike here that hasn't opened yet. I'll have to try and train that over the edge of the pot. Another nice one around here. Then we've got this spike that's going upright and hasn't got enough weight to pull it over yet. It's got a couple of blasted buds on there as well. I'm going to take them off. They often it's like catching. It's as though there's some sort of signal to the plants that the buds on the spike aren't successful. So yeah, we've got two spikes here tangled up together. One giant one hanging down here, another one here. Obviously in future years these would be separated to hang down separately, but it's an absolute beauty. It was there hanging up in the roof, and I kept looking at it and looking at it, and then I went and had a closer look at it, and I thought, do you know what, I think I'm going to take it. And I had a chat with Sarah, and she said that I said I have trouble with pendulous blooms because I can't hang anything in the roof. I haven't got any way of attaching up in the roof. It's not my roof, I can't start making holes. And she said, well, what you can do is when the spikes start like this, when they're about halfway up, stake them and let the top 2/3 arch over, and then they won't arch over lower than the bottom of the pot. So you'll still get your arching spike effect, but not hanging down quite so low as this. So they become more manageable, and that sort of makes sense. But it's a good plant. It's got good leaves on it. It's a very upright, compact plant. So it's not a wide plant, it's a tall plant. And then the spikes come off. See if you can see if I can get more of a close-up on the blooms so that you can see the blooms better. Lovely sunny greeny yellow. I mean it is actually green, but there's enough lightness within that green to make it a yellowy green, and it was the colour that sold it for me. And now I've got it out of the box, I will have trouble putting it down. Now I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to put it on the corner of the staging. So I need to shuffle round a few plants to enable that to happen. And what I'm going to do is, those that know this staging over here, there's two quite large geraniums on the bottom shelf. I'm going to put them somewhere else on the floor out of the way, and that will enable me to get one of the shorter cymbidiums off the top shelf onto the bottom shelf. This can then sit on the corner of the top shelf so that I can see it when I'm sitting at the computer, and you know, it'll be in full view. But at the moment, if I get the box out of the way, hopefully it will just sit on the edge of the staging for now, like that. Just until I get a space for it sorted out. So there we go, that's the third and final plant from Burnhams. In future years, spikes will be allowed to arch away from the plant with a bit of height before they arch over, and hopefully spread a bit more evenly around the plant. I mean, I've got a spike here that's heading back into the middle of the plant. I will adjust that with some stakes to actually hold it in place so that when the blooms open it'll naturally arch over the edge of the pot rather than heading towards the middle of the plant like it is now. So we can deal with these little problems, and these two spikes that are butted up against each other could do with separating out a bit. I'll see what I can do, but ideally that one should have gone that side. That's better. So we will do a bit of work adjusting those blooms to make it look better. And there you go. I've got lots of clips of Burnham's nursery, including the sales area where everything's in bloom, the private area where the specimen and stock plants and rare private collection is, and some general shots around the nursery. There's also some film of the Orchid Paradise. There wasn't a huge amount in bloom in there, but some, and some of their educational type displays in there with big boards with information on. So we've got plenty more to see from that day out, and I'll spread the rest of the videos over the holiday period, because obviously I'll be doing other things and you know, a bit busy, family down and things like that. So I won't be filming much, but I've got clips that I can make into videos during that period. So we'll still have some videos to come. And yes, to all you people who contributed to my day out, there's the results of your efforts, or some of it. Now, this plant wasn't ridiculously expensive. Nonetheless, it's more than I normally pay for an orchid. Not a huge amount more though. And not as much as the last Cymbidium I bought that ended up not even being in bloom. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. Very nice blooms. Very attractive plant. Yeah, well pleased with that. And the last one. You know, if it had been a busier Saturday, I think somebody would have bought that before I did, because I hesitated. It got to almost the end of the day before I decided to get that. You know, I was thinking about, you know, packing my stuff and getting ready to go. So it was very close to the end of the day, and it was a sort of last minute decision. But I'm pleased I've got it. I like the blooms, and yeah. Sarah's reasonably sure that it should bloom around this time each year. So, you know, a Christmas bloomer, let's put it that way. So, especially as there's a spike on here with no open buds yet. So it's going to be in bloom for some time. So anyway, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.